Okay, it is supposed to be sunny. Fall in Northern California is like our summer, but we're getting spring weather here. It's completely socked in with fog. I'm meeting Melina Espinoza here, and she's still on her way, but I'm taking a look around. And foggy days can be challenging for composing, just because there's not a lot of color, and obviously there's no light and shadow. But it's still an enjoyable experience. So I'm gonna look around and see what I can find. I think Melina's found her composition, and I'm just kind of looking around. Melina's gonna paint this rock, and I'm thinking of doing it as well. There's some reflections in the wet sand right there, but not sure how I want to compose it.
The rocks are in this corner.
You mean like leaving the foreground in?
Yeah, leaving the foreground in.
No, you know, I like having foreground.
It's cool.
Yeah, here, put your composition on there. Let's see what you're
Okay.
thinking of.
I think that this would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I do, like, I definitely do. I'll leave green in the foreground, or like on the bottom, and then keep it super loose.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. Yeah, so it doesn't draw the eye straight to it.
Yeah, the eye will kind of move over it into the distance.
Okay, perfect.
All right, this view here could be cool too, because now it's kind of looking out to sea, and then maybe there's some rocks. There's rocks out there. I can still see the wet sand, so this is a possibility. Also, there's this distant view, but it just seems so like there's so much fog over there, and it'd be really high key. That'd be kind of a tough painting to do. So I think I'm going to try to figure out a composition using this scene right here. Gonna have a little sip of this. Melina brought me a coffee. Okay, so I'm going to look in this direction too, just to make sure that, you know, there's not something more inspiring over here. So I've painted these rocks here quite a bit, but I could always come up with a different sort of composition. So are you gonna do a sketch today too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my pad, so I'm gonna do one as well. So I brought my pad, brought a pencil, but it broke while it was in my pocket. Hey Melina, can I borrow your pencil? All right, so you're going with this one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Thank you.
And 12 by 16.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got a brush washer with odorless mineral spirits, a palette cup with some liquid, my usual palette of colors here. This is cadmium yellow lemon, titanium white, cadmium yellow medium, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, and then I also squeezed out some viridian today. May use that in the water, and then some dioxazine purple, leftover cadmium yellow light, which I will not be using. In fact, that's kind of dried up. 12 by 16 inch panel. Gonna paint out in this area here, which I've done before, and just gonna kind of play around and probably make up a composition. I'm gonna start by scrubbing in using a natural bristle brush. This one here is a number 8, and then usually I finish off using a synthetic. This one is a number 10 bright, Princeton 6300. So that's the plan, but as you guys know, things can change depending on what sort of predicaments I get myself into. It looks like Melina's got her sketch, so let's go check it out.
Still trying to figure out where to place the rocks, because I want it to kind of balance it out, but
so you're gonna, yeah, right. I mean, that's the thing. Over there, I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna move around the rocks to kind of create an interesting composition.
Totally.
So yeah, cool. All right, good. I'll check back with you. When I first started plein air painting, I would just do literal paintings. I would just kind of walk around and search for the perfect composition. But now, as I've said a million times, you guys are probably getting sick of it, but I just use what I see as raw materials to create an interesting abstract pattern. And it's a lot more fun painting that way, I feel. So I'm gonna start playing around. All right, so there is the composition, and I'm not staying true to the subject matter. I'm definitely making things up. One thing that I like to do on, you know, when I'm painting rocks or whatever, is I like to not have the rocks too low in the composition. Usually I'll like keep them at about the halfway point and above, and then the foreground will just be kind of loose and lead the eye into the painting. I feel like if I have too many rocks down low, it just seems bottom heavy. So, you know, I'm going to kind of focus on water in here, and then also kind of the wet sand as well. And then just look for an interesting pattern of rocks going out. There's this little bit of land here and some rocks in the distance. Are you using a bristle brush to do your initial scrub in?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's, what is that? Oh yeah, that looks like the same one I'm using.
Oh cool, perfect.
Yeah. So I'm mixing up a color for the water, and it's kind of a greenish gray. And so usually what I use out here is ultramarine with a touch of burnt sienna, and obviously titanium white. And then sometimes I'll add a touch of yellow if I want to green it up a bit more. But as you can see, it's kind of a green gray. So let's go take a look and see how Melina's doing. So you're using Viridian in here.
Yeah, and I gotta clean up the this cliff, make it more simpler. But yeah, I was kind of focusing on this area more.
Yeah, I like your colors, really nice, and I like how you kept it like sort of loose and scrubby in here as well. And then what I notice is like when I put the white water in, it's like that really just sort of defines it.
Yeah.
You've got all your colors laid out beautifully. Nice reflections right there too. So here's where I am right now. Obviously I've got to redo the sky. I've got to touch that up because there's this little bit of burnt sienna. And I might lighten these distant hills to kind of push them back. But there's some interesting stuff going on in here, and I don't want to overwork it. So I'm probably going to leave it pretty close to the way it is now. Just do some general cleanup. So I touched up the sky, and then I lightened up these distant hills, and I think I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay, so there's Melina's finished product. Yeah, definitely adding the whitewater added so much. It's very nice. All right, so we had a great time out here as usual. It's getting kind of cold, so it's definitely burrito time. I'm gonna link Melina's information down below. Also, she made a YouTube video today too, so check out her channel, information down below. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you in the next one.